Every story has a turning point. Not the kind written in ink, but the kind written in the tremble of your hands when life shifts beneath you. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't warn you. It arrives like a breath you didn't see coming. And suddenly, the world you built no longer holds. There comes a moment in every life when everything feels like it's shifting beneath your feet. It doesn't always come with thunder, lightning, or chaos. Sometimes it arrives quietly like a gentle breeze that brushes past you so subtly you don't realize. Everything has changed until you look down and notice the ground beneath you is no longer the same. You know what I mean, right? Life doesn't always break loudly. Sometimes it breaks in whispers. And the silence is what hurts the most. One moment, you're moving through life with rhythm. You know your steps. You know your path. You know the shape of your days and the weight of your nights. You think you're safe, stable, steady, and then suddenly, it happens. A sentence, a confession, a decision, a truth that hits you so hard, it disconnects you from the version of yourself who existed a second earlier. A relationship ends. A dream slips away. A person you trusted walks away. Or maybe, you wake up one morning and realize the life you were living no longer fits the person you're becoming. It's that moment when the future you imagined, the one you believed in, begins to crumble like sand running through your fingers. Effortlessly, hopelessly, unstoppably, and you're left standing there, trying to catch pieces of a life that's already falling apart. It's terrifying how fast something can go from forever to gone. You look around and everything looks familiar, but nothing feels familiar. It's surreal, isn't it? Like you're living in the same house, walking the same streets, breathing the same air, but the meaning is gone. The story has changed. The light has shifted, and in the silence that follows, a thought rises like a ghost through the smoke. Start over, 2 simple words, but they hit like a storm. They feel like a cliff. They feel like the most impossible thing you've ever been asked to do. Because starting over isn't about changing your life. It's about changing your identity, your story, your understanding of yourself. It's about letting go of the person you were in the life that broke. We humans don't fear pain as much as we fear loss. Loss is more personal, more permanent, more disorienting. Your brain clings to the familiar even when that familiar is killing you. That's why you stayed longer than you should have. That's why you justified things you shouldn't have. That's why you forgave what should never have been repeated. That's why you fought for something that wasn't fighting for you. Your mind whispers, better the monster you know than the darkness you don't. It's survival. It's biology. It's ancient. It's the part of your mind wired long before you learned how to dream. And when your old life collapses, you're not just grieving people or places, you're grieving you. The version of you who believed. The version of you who hoped. The version of you who trusted. The version of you who shaped their life around someone or something. Psychologists call it identity collapse. But emotionally, it feels like a funeral. A silent, lonely funeral for the person you used to be. No ceremony. No flowers. No goodbye. Just a quiet ache in your chest that only you can feel. There's a stage in starting over that feels like the deadest part of the journey. Not the crying stage. Not the angry stage. Not the dramatic stage. The empty stage. You wake up and feel nothing. You go through the motions. You breathe, but not deeply. You speak, but not honestly. You smile, but not fully. It's like your soul took a step backward and left your body to figure things out alone. You look in the mirror and recognize the face, but not the eyes. Your eyes look tired in a way that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from carrying the weight of a story that doesn't belong to you anymore. This is the liminal space, the hallway between who you were and who you are becoming. It's unsettling. It's disorienting. It's lonely. But you know what's even harder? You can't rush it. You can't skip it. You can't force it to end. It's the part of life where time slows down so your soul can catch up. You're not broken. You're transitioning. And transitions feel like destruction before they feel like rebirth. Just when you start feeling slightly stable, even if it's only for a moment, the past comes back. Not aggressively, not violently, not with a bang, but gently, softly, seductively. It comes through memories that suddenly seem sweeter than they were. Through loneliness that makes familiarity look like love. Through nostalgia that edits out the pain and highlights only the moments that felt safe. You start hearing whispers. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe the past wasn't that bad. Maybe I can go back. But here's the truth. That's not love. That's not destiny. That's not intuition. That's trauma. That's familiarity. That's your nervous system searching for the old pattern because the new one feels terrifying. The past feels safe only because you survived it. The future feels frightening because you haven't survived it yet. Starting over is not a single decision. It's not a transformation montage. It's not a glowing sunrise moment. It's a war. A quiet internal war between who you were and who you're trying to become. Every day, your old self tries to pull you backward. Every day, your new self calls you forward. And the battlefield is your mind. It's those small, invisible moments. Choosing not to text someone who hurt you. Choosing not to replay old memories. Choosing not to stalk their social media. Choosing to trust yourself again. Choosing to believe you deserve more. Choosing hope when hope feels stupid. Choosing presence when presence feels painful. Healing is not loud. Healing is not dramatic. Healing is not romantic. Healing is choosing yourself in thousands of unseen moments. Then one day, not a dramatic day, not a loud day, something shifts. You breathe differently. You stand differently. You think differently. You look at your past and feel nothing sharp, nothing aching, nothing pulling you backward. Your wounds don't sting anymore. Your memories don't control your pulse. Your heart doesn't twist at the thought of what was lost. This is not healing. This is transformation. This is rebirth. And here's the beautiful truth. The darkness wasn't a coffin. It was a womb. You weren't dying. You were forming. Accept the ending truly, not because it felt fair. Not because you were ready. Not because you wanted it. But because it happened. Because clinging to something that's already gone is how you stay stuck in a story that's no longer yours. Acceptance is not surrender. It's the first act of power after a long season of pain. Build small anchors. Gentle structures that hold you, not escape, not distraction. Support. Daily rituals that ground you. A morning routine, a sunset walk, a journal, a safe friend, a new class, a grounding hobby. Tiny anchors that remind you that even in the storm, there are things that do not move. Healing needs safety. Safety needs structure. Structure starts small. Remove triggers, cleanse your emotional space, unfollow them. Delete old messages. Put away the reminders. Say goodbye to the digital ghosts. You can't build a new life in a room filled with memories of the old one. Make space for what's coming. Clear out what's gone. Create a new identity. One built from intention, not pain. This is where the real work begins. Who are you now? What do you want? What do you believe? Who do you refuse to be again? You are not rebuilding the old version of yourself. You're creating a new one. One shaped by truth, resilience, self-worth, and clarity. Your new identity becomes your compass. Your future becomes your direction. Maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe you still feel broken. Maybe you're still grieving the future you thought you'd live. But listen closely, because this is the part of your story that people never see. The part where the ashes begin to glow. You don't start a new life when you're healed. You start it when the old one no longer fits. You rise not because the pain disappears, but because you refuse to stay where it left you. This is not your ending. This is your becoming. Life has paused you not to punish you, but to prepare you. The universe is clearing the path. Your soul is shedding the weight. Your heart is rewriting its truth. And someday, soon quietly, gently you'll realize you're no longer surviving. You're living, you're breathing, you're beginning again. So take a breath and step forward. Your story is not over. It's about to get deeper, wilder, braver, more beautiful than you can imagine. The universe is whispering. It's your turn now.